We are at Assembly Chef's Hall. Fahrenheit has a promotion this week where you can get free coffee and you can actually get anything on the menu. So hubby got a large cappuccino and I got the large flat white. You can choose your espresso beans. They have 3 different ones, and you can choose your milk. So that's amazing. We also bought a couple of cookies. These are from a bakery up at Lawrence and Avenue Road. We got the salted chocolate chip to share and the oatmeal raisin. We were gonna share 1 cookie but decided to buy 2 and share those. We're gonna be starting the Eat at Home challenge soon, so this is our last weekend of indulgence until Japan. We are back home now, and this coat is something that my friend gave me. I really love the color and the overall shape, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the shoulder pads because they are quite large for my frame. And then I'm gonna see how this coat looks after that. Right now it's still like really, really big. I don't know if you can tell how big the shoulders are on me. It's probably hard to tell because I'm holding up the camera, but it is quite wide. So I'm gonna take my seam ripper to it, just tear along the seam of the inside of the coat, and then remove the shoulder pads and stitch it up again. And I'm probably gonna stitch it by hand. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a huge job because the seam is just right there. Okay, let's do this. So I just did the cut along this seam here, so that's all I have to sew up later. And then in here is the shoulder pad, which I will just pull out. And you'll be able to see that the shoulder pad is held on by, I think it's like 3 lines of stitching. So all I need to do is tear those out. Actually, only 2 lines of stitching, so this should be even easier than I thought. All right, so I haven't stitched up the seams yet, but here are the shoulder pads that I took out. I think it does look a bit better. Of course, the coat is still oversized and it's quite large on me, but I feel like it's a little more drapey, and I feel more comfortable wearing it because there's no excess volume at the shoulders now. So I may wear this very soon actually because it is the season for it. It's funny because I've had this coat for well over a year, and I finally decided on our walk home today that I would get this task done. This is my way of procrastinating. I call it productive procrastination. I always think of all these little tasks that I want to do that I've been putting off when I have a deadline looming. So I should be working on my project work and a bunch of other stuff, but there's still a little bit of time. So my brain comes up with all of these things that I've wanted to do that I've put off, and all of a sudden I want to do them right now. That being said, it is productive procrastination, so I don't feel too terrible about it. And of course, this didn't take much time at all. Even though I'm not done, I still have to stitch up the seams. But I am really, really glad I got this off my list, and now I can wear this coat. I've already finished sewing up one side and I'm just about halfway through this side. I'm basically just following the holes that you can see right here. So it's really, really easy. It's not perfect by any means, but it's on the inside. So as long as the stitch is relatively straight, I'm pretty happy with it. I am all done. So this is where I cut the seam and sewed it back up, so you can't really tell. If you look very closely you can, but just like this you can't really notice. And then let me show you the other side. And then here is the other side. So again, this is where I cut the seam and sewed it back up. This one I had a little trouble with the knot. It kept getting tangled. So there's a little bit more of like a, you can see that there, little boo-boo there, but otherwise it looks pretty good. I mean, now you can see that it's like hand stitched. But if it's not pulled apart like that, you can't really tell. We got Bergham for dinner. It seems like hubby is feeling under the weather because he's been sneezing and sniffling all day. So we're just gonna stay in tonight. It's cocktail week, but we're just gonna hang out at home. I'm kind of feeling a bit sniffly myself. So anyway, I got the small sandwich. I think this is called the classic burgie. So it's kind of like the sandwich I got last time, but smaller. And then I also got the poutine, but hubby and I will probably share that. And hubby got the maximum sandwich with chicken and beef, cheese. And then we have 3 sauces, and this is just the sandwich size comparison. So hubby's sandwich is quite a bit bigger, but it's also almost double the price. Hello everyone. It has been a long time since I've vlogged, or it feels like a really long time anyway. We are well into November now. It is November 5th today, and I have a big long list of stuff I want to talk to you guys about. I actually started editing this vlog last night, and I noticed that I really only had 1 day of footage. I'd recorded some other little clips and things like that here and there, but nothing substantial. The only thing I did do was I recorded a really long haul of Atomy products because I placed another order, but I don't really want to take up this entire vlog with a haul because I've been away for so long. So I'm gonna scrap that footage and I'm gonna film a separate haul for Petite Pear Style down the road. I'm waiting for 2 more products that we actually ordered from Korea. So once I get those in, I will film a haul for my other channel of all of the stuff that I got, including all of the stuff I showed in a previous vlog. I think it was 2 vlogs ago, but because like this camera isn't great for detail, I want to do like a standalone video showing you the products, the swatches, and all of that stuff. Not really too many swatches. It's really only that lip glow. I am deep in the throes of the Eat at Home challenge, but this time around I'm doing it a little bit differently. This is probably my 4th or 5th time doing the Eat at Home challenge, so I feel like I can relax the rules a little bit. Not that much. I have made 2 exceptions. One time my husband brought home this treat that he got from work. It kind of looks like a Pop-Tart, but it's from this Danish bakery that's at the Eaton Center. I almost didn't try it, but I'm so happy I did because who knows when we're gonna go to that bakery, and the Pop-Tart-like thing was quite delicious. It wasn't that sweet and it really wasn't like a Pop-Tart, it just kind of looks like one. And the other thing I had was at this hot docs event with Suresh Das. Hubby and I went to this event and we actually weren't planning to buy anything. Suresh Das had invited these 3 food vendors to his event, and hubby and I just decided that we would maybe check out the food vendors on our own another day, even though one of them was from St. Catharines. So I was like, oh, I don't know if we're gonna go there anytime in the near future, but I'm doing the Eat at Home challenge, so I didn't want to make another exception so soon. So we just listened to the talk, but right before the intermission, Suresh Das actually said that the food vendor from St. Catharines had actually just closed shop. It was a Chinese eatery called 06 Chengdu Noodles, which is basically Sichuan food, and I've mentioned in previous videos how much I love Sichuan food, and I was like, oh my gosh, what should we do? So right then and there I was like, you know what, let's try it. I went ahead and I bought the shredded chicken, which is like a cold chicken dish, as well as the cold noodles, and I asked for extra spice because they made it pretty mild to cater to all different palettes. So I asked for more spice, and it was quite spicy, but it was delicious. I got that Szechuan flavor that I love, that really nice, spicy, tongue-numbing feeling that I just crave. But that was it. Those were the 2 things that I did so far. Oh, actually, there was one more thing. I ordered a flat white when I went to meet my new boss for a little training session. I was gonna do tea, but my new boss was telling me, her name's Chris. Chris was telling me that the coffee in the area is really, really good, and I didn't want to kind of pass it up. And the tea was kind of like the same price anyway. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for the flat white, and it was delicious, well worth it. I'm gonna be making some other exceptions here and there that's related to my new part-time job. We have a team meeting next week, that's catered, and I want to be able to partake in that. And I think that will be it though. I definitely haven't gone out to any restaurants. I haven't gotten any takeout, and yeah, I'm just rolling along. Originally, I had wanted to do another challenge alongside the Eat at Home challenge. I wanted to do something like a dry month, so no alcohol, or I wanted to do no processed junk food again, but I'm actually glad I didn't take either of those on because instead I decided to do a moderation month. I basically just tried to limit the amount of food that I eat to 1 serving, and I don't go and get seconds, thirds, fourths, etc., etc. And when I have a glass of wine, I'll just drink like 3 to 5 ounces. So it's been really good for both my like mental alertness because I'm not like being weighed down by food and alcohol. I don't feel tired as often. And it's also great because I've noticed a little bit of difference in my waistline. So yeah, so I've been noticing that I'm a little bit trimmer. No significant difference, just like a little bit, a touch. So that's really nice. And I don't feel hungry because I tend to take like a bigger portion when I'm feeling really famished because I know I'm not going to go back for seconds. So I'll take like a big bowl of pasta instead of like 2 or 3 small bowls. But in total, I think I'm still eating less than when I was doing like 2, 3 helpings. What else here? You know what? I'm gonna start doing some of my chores while I talk to you guys because I don't want this to be like a huge monologue, and I also want to get some stuff done before I have to leave. I have to leave in about 2.5 hours, and I still have a number of things on my list that I want to do. And the first things first, I'm going to start off by packing my so-called lunch. I'm going to have my first meal before I go. I think that's going to be Ezekiel bread with peanut butter and chestnut cream. I have to head out because I'm taking a memoir writing workshop, so I'm taking another one. This is called Life Stories. It's with the same facilitator as that library course that I took way back when I was first introduced to Firefly, and I'm so happy to be taking this class. It is quite a bit more work though because we have assignments every week as opposed to the class at the library. The class at the library was a 2-hour class for 5 weeks, and you only had 1 long assignment. So you basically had 1 assignment that they asked you to do that you could bring in to share a longer piece. But with this workshop, every class is 3 hours. It goes on for 8 weeks, and you bring in a new piece every week to share. I'm finding it quite time consuming, both mentally because I have to think of what to write and then actually writing it itself because my stuff is never good the first draft. I always need to go back and tweak it and edit it and like really think about it and re-look at it from different perspectives, and then it turns out okay, but I'm just not, I guess I'm not a natural writer as much as I love writing and as much as I write frequently. I just don't have that natural flourish when it comes to writing. I do a lot of like emails, corporate stuff, and that stuff I find really easy, but when it comes to a creative piece, I find it much more challenging. So that's been taking up a lot of time, even though my paid project work, there's a lull in it right now because I met one of the deadlines at the end of October. So I thought I would have free time to vlog. I was actually planning to vlog immediately after submitting my project work, but then some other work came back that I had to edit. And now there's like a momentary lull, but I'm expecting another project to come in. So it has been quite hectic, but in the best way possible. I'm feeling really good. Like I'm not stressed, I'm not tired. Every once in a while I feel a little bit of stress because I know I have things to do. I have things that are kind of like piling up, but the stuff that I have tends to go a bit faster than I think it'll go. So it hasn't been too onerous or anything like that. It's been very, very good. And I'm extremely happy with like the pace of work right now, my free time. That whole balance is working out really well for me. Okay, so my lunch today is basically going to be fruit and nuts. This is going to be my snack because I'm going to that workshop. And then I'm planning to go to a documentary. I got a free ticket to Midnight Traveler. I can make it after class, so why not check it out unless I'm like super, super tired after class. But I think I'll be okay. It's on the way anyway. So I'm gonna do 2 Brazil nuts today. I only eat 1 or 2 a day because you shouldn't overload on Brazil nuts because of the selenium. It can actually be like toxic. So 2 Brazil nuts, I'm gonna do some cashews, some pecans, and some walnuts. I love cashews. I think they're probably my favorite nut. I just love how buttery they are. They're just so delicious. I'm also going to do some dried fruit. And I'm gonna bring these 2 granola bars, which I have kicking around. I think I got these for free in the mail and from Sample Source. So I'm probably going to eat those as well because this fruit nut combination isn't going to be enough for me. Just some dates, maybe like 4 or 5. I'm still pretty into sugar, even though I don't eat a lot of sugar anymore. That's been going really well too. Hubby actually brought home some more food last week. He brought home a bunch of cookies and he brought home this huge slice of cake, and he said the cake was so good, but I resisted. I didn't eat any of the stuff that he brought home. He also brought home Thai food, leftovers from work, and I was really good. I didn't eat any of it, so I haven't been making that many exceptions. I'm not like trying to make exceptions. I'm really trying to think about whether or not the exception is worth it, because I usually feel better if I just follow my own rules and not constantly break them. Which brings me to flute. I didn't do well with the flute challenge. I think I maybe practiced a total of 10 days in the month of October, and I've since put the flute away and returned all of my library books because I just wasn't picking it up towards the end of October and into November. So I figured instead of staring at the thing all the time and feeling guilty about it, I'm gonna pause the challenge and restart it when I have a bit more time. When I started working with the writing studio, it really kind of like threw my routine for a loop, because I'm so excited to be working there that I always want to be doing stuff for Firefly. I just am always like looking at the website or going through the emails or looking at the studio calendar. I'm just like very preoccupied with that, and it's been a lot of fun. So that's kind of where all my attention is going right now. So that doesn't leave a whole lot of room for challenges that take up time. The Eat at Home challenge is pretty easy. It doesn't really add much by way of mental effort or time requirement. I'm so used to the Eat at Home challenge that it's kind of like second nature now. So yeah, I'm done my little fruit and nut medley. So once again, I have 2 Brazil nuts, some walnuts, some pecans, cashews, dried apricots, a dried fig, my last one, some dried mango, no sugar added, and a few dates. So that is going to be my little trail mix, I guess. And then I've got the 2 bars. I've been thinking a lot about that meditation course. And specifically, I've been thinking about how much it helped me just in terms of a lot of the stuff that I talked about in my last video when I read that letter to you guys. I had to take a brief pause after posting that. That took a lot out of me to post. I was just very nervous about it and very, I don't know, I felt very vulnerable and self-conscious about it, but you guys were really awesome. You left me some very nice comments and made me feel a whole lot better. But sometimes I find if I'm too public with my thoughts and emotions, whether that means being on the internet or even like face-to-face with a few friends or whatnot, I find that if I've talked a lot about how I feel, I often need to pull back a bit and just like retreat into myself for a little while. So that's what I felt I was also doing, which is why I didn't really feel like vlogging a whole lot, because I just needed that time to come back into myself and recharge. So my pause with vlogging wasn't only about having other things on my plate, because I have been super busy in the past and I still keep up with my videos. I think it was more so because of the last video that I posted. It's kind of hard to explain exactly how I felt around that and why this happens within me, but I think if you feel the same way, of course you'll understand. And if that's not something that you grapple with, then you'll have no idea what I'm talking about, because it'll be so foreign. But anyway, that's why I think I needed a little bit of a pause, aside from just having other things to distract me. I was thinking about the meditation course and how much it's helped me. I don't think I would have been able to write that letter, not even just write it, but even like conceive of it. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I hadn't done the meditation course. It's just helped so much with dissolving of the ego, becoming more humble and more true to myself, like what I truly want out of life rather than what other people think is best. A lot of that comes from the meditation course and the Buddhist philosophy that the course is based on. Also, that book that I read called Awareness by Anthony DeMello was life-changing. I'm actually thinking of buying the book, and I don't buy a lot of hard copy books anymore. I haven't bought a book in ages, but I'll wait until 2020 to see if I really truly want it. And also my no-buy is ending then as well. I'll probably still keep the no-buy, but it won't be an intentional no-buy. It'll be more of lifestyle type thing, because I don't ever plan to go crazy on stuff again like I used to. I'm really practicing moderation and thoughtful spending, and I want my life to be that going forward. So it doesn't really have to be top of mind anymore. I think it's integrated enough into myself that I'm able to do that going forward without putting any rules on myself. But if I find in the future that I am slipping up, for example, with Atomy, I wanted to try like everything, but I tried to stick with things that I know that I needed, that I would use up over the next little while. But if I see myself going down the slippery slope and maybe buying in excess again, I will put another challenge on and try to nip that in the bud. I'm starting to think about 2020 in terms of goals, but I'll save that for another video. Let's get back to that meditation retreat. I am all over the place, and I think the reason is because I haven't vlogged in so long that my mind is just everywhere because I haven't said anything to you guys. I feel like there's so much to tell you, yet I don't want to be all over the place because I'm gonna lose you. It's like click off the video. But anyway, what was I? Oh, meditation retreat. So I think part of why I've changed so much over the past year, it was not only because I was away from the corporate environment and trying all these new things, it was also because the meditation course last year really sparked something in me. I think it was almost like inception, where it planted a seed and now the seed is growing, and I have changed so much. I mean, if you know me in real life, you'll know that I haven't changed that much, but I think from what you guys see in these videos, you'll think that I've changed a lot. So I don't know. I think I'd have to ask the people around me whether they think I've changed. And I think the answer would be yes and no, but mostly no, because I am still the same person. And a lot of the people I hang out with knew me from before my YouTube days. So I'm kind of back in that space of like before YouTube, but a little more, I would say, thoughtful. I was thoughtful before, but I didn't express it as much as I do now. Now I tend to ask a lot of questions. I tend to not mind taking the conversation to a more philosophical place, whereas before I would just keep that inside. So maybe that's a change, but I just loved the way the meditation course opened that up in me, and it exposed me to a lot of people who are like that as well, which is why I feel like it's more acceptable for me to be that way. And I know I shouldn't look to the outside to say, you know, what's okay and what's not okay in terms of behavior. I should just do me. But I'm the type of person that actually does look outside a lot for cues. I just can't help it. I tend to adjust based on other people's reactions. So I think that's just like the INFJ way. We value harmony, so we don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable. We don't want to have people feel excluded. And the nature of my personality is that. Part of me wants to do the course again, but part of me doesn't, because it was very difficult at times, like very difficult. I thought I was losing my mind. some days. This time I plan to do the course differently. I'm not planning to sit the course, I'm planning to serve, which means volunteering essentially in the kitchen. And that is going to, I think, free up a lot of that downtime that I felt where I just like sank into a pit because I was just so bored and I felt so alone. I think with the serving, it'll be interesting because it'll test my ability to meditate in a different way. And while I probably won't be able to go as deep into myself in terms of meditation, I think it'll be really helpful because serving a course mimics a little more of the day-to-day life because you have so many things to do, so many tasks, and yet you still have to spend at least 3 hours a day meditating. So I think this will help me because after the course, I'll be able to maybe integrate meditation more into my daily life. I don't know. I know I'm going to be really gung-ho after the course and then it might fall off again like it did last year, but we'll see. I just applied yesterday. The course that I applied to serve isn't until January. But I have that time off work anyway, so I figured I would just apply and see if they accept me. If they do, great. If not, that's okay too. So non-attachment, I'm still practicing. I think that's going to be it for now. I've been going on a very, very long time and I want to show you like some other stuff perhaps. I don't know if that's going to make it into this vlog. This vlog wasn't a lot of fun. It was more like catch up and heart to heart, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I think I will end it off here because it's been a really long time since I've chatted with you guys and I know I have a lot of chit chat happening in this video. I'd really like to get a vlog up very, very soon. So I think I will end it off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful November. I can't believe we've done Fallback already. Fallback is one of my favorite weekends of the year, and I hope you had a really good one. If your time changes, I hope you made great use of that extra hour. Even if you just used it to get an extra hour of sleep, well-deserved sleep, I hope you really enjoyed it. And I will see you all very soon in another vlog, and I promise not to be away for as long. Although I may have to renege on that promise because hubby and I will be heading to Japan at the end of the month. And then after that, there are going to be a ton of Japan vlogs. I probably won't edit them until I get back, but I do plan to vlog every day and I'm gonna see if I have enough content to do a vlog a day, but we'll see. So thank you again for watching and I will see you all very, very soon.